Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm Judy Prouty, and this is Monday Manna. I like to give you something to think about for the next few days. And this morning I had a verse in mind in Romans 1, verse 20. It says, "For ever since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through his workmanship." His nature has been seen through nature, through the things that we see around us. And I was thinking about what kind of a world would it be without that? What kind of a world would it be if there was never change, if the seasons didn't change? You know, the changing of the seasons shows us in nature the same thing that we see in our lives, because our lives change. We may be in a season of birthing something new, some new idea, some new project or relationship or a child. Or we may be coming to the end of something that's been part of our lives, like a job, or maybe the loss of a pet, or the way that we have viewed something in our life and now we see it differently. Summer, to me, symbolizes growth, and it symbolizes abundance and the fruits of our labor, and it encourages us to embrace where we are right now, where we're at presently, and to spend time cultivating our relationships, and especially our relationship with God. And then fall, to me, represents a time of change and possibly transition, or maybe reflection on where I've been up to this point, and then where am I going from here. And it can be a time of letting go, or a time of preparation for the next phase that's coming. And then I think winter represents a time also of reflecting, a time of rest, maybe even a bit of introspection, and seeking the Lord and spending quiet times with Him. It's a time of preparation, I think, and a time of renewal, and probably most of all a time of anticipation. And then there is spring, and I realized a few days ago that we had transitioned into spring. And I love spring. I love all the seasons, but I love the colors, and I love the blossoms, and I love the warmth. But I also realized that spring is a time of planting. It's a time of planting seed. It's a time of new beginnings, and a time of hope and fresh starts, and giving birth to dreams. And it's a time of recognizing the presence of God in my life, His presence in me, and guiding my steps and speaking to my heart. And it can be a time of planning and developing something in my life, maybe casting a vision. It's a time of opening up, trying new things, seeking God. It might be a time for some of us of being stretched, and yet a time of recognizing that God is the God of what we might see as being impossible, and yet knowing that with Him all things are possible. And so God is with us. He's faithful through every season, in the natural, but He's also with us physically. He's with us. He's in us through every change, and He's empowering us to grow and to believe. And our faith in Him doesn't waver depending on the season, and His faithfulness to us doesn't waver depending on the season. We can live fruitful lives in every season. We can easily see through the creation that there is a God, and He created a beautiful world for us to enjoy. That's something to be so thankful for. filled with beauty, filled with change. One last verse in Isaiah 45:5, it says, I am the Lord, and there is no one else. There is no God except me. And so God says personally and directly to us that he is God. And he makes it clear that there isn't any other. This is comforting to me, and I think it is to all of us. There is no God but him. And so think about that this week, no matter what change may be going on in your life, what you may be seeing or not seeing. Think about the fact that there is no God but him, and let that truth sink in. God bless you guys. I hope you have a great week. See you Thursday.